Hi there, I'm Chris-Rachael with Fanboy TV. We're out here at STEAM talking to Gardner Williams of ATX Hackerspace. So tell us a little bit about ATX Hackerspace.
ATX Hackerspace is a sort of workshop co-op. We have tools and workspace for people who don't necessarily have room for it in their own, lives or apartments or what have you. We have a laser cutter, woodworking equipment, sewing stuff, just a whole assortment of 3D printers.
And I understand that you also have a bunch of really cool groups that get together, like the robot group meets with you, for example.
Yeah.
And people will build these just kind of crazy projects. Talk about some of the projects that people get into there.
All right, so we have, one of the projects is right behind us is this arcade cabinet, which is a group project that people put together, and it has a PC in there that runs different arcade games, some classic, some new. We do learn to solder workshops. Like here, we're doing teaching people how to solder. We have little blinky light badges that say I learned to solder with ATX Hackerspace.
Now, soldering is one of the most basic skills towards learning to make any type of electronics. Explain to people why they want to learn to do something like solder.
Soldering is a very fundamental skill for hacking and electronics work, and it also has applications in other areas such as jewelry making. Jewelers often use solder to put pieces together. It's just one of those things that sort of a lot of kits you'll get from SparkFun or what have you are designed with the idea that you know how to solder in mind or trying to learn how to solder.
So basically soldering is an introductory skill to it's your gateway skill to get you into a lot of the more interesting tech and hacking things.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different variety in sort of soldering you can do. You can do basic soldering of just through hole pins. There's jewelry soldering. There's surface mount soldering.
Well, tell us about some of the other classes and events going on at ATX Hackerspace.
So we're going to be at South by Southwest Create coming up next week. That's a free South by Southwest event where a whole bunch of other makerspaces and organizations are getting together. We are one of the founding members of that event. We've been there all 3 years that it's been on. Then in May we're going to be at Mini Maker Fair. So as far as classes go, we have a sew making class. We have a woodworking class. Trying to think, we've done various teen maker and elementary level classes on hacking type.
So I feel like maker culture has really grown a lot in the last decade. What do you think has inspired people to say, you know what, I don't have to go to Walmart and buy this. I'm going to build it myself instead?
I'm not sure what the sort of impetus is behind that. I know that a lot of it came in over from Europe, from the Chaos Computer Camp hackers back in the early 2000s, sort of started the hackerspace movement, and we brought it over into America from there. And it's just sort of a growth of the old do-it-yourself, into the 21st century.
I just feel like there was this weird lag in the 80s and 90s of people going, I'm not building anything by myself if I don't have to. And now people really want to just get their hands dirty and make something.
I'm not sure there was much of a lag. There's the computer builders, the old robot group that sort of grew into the robot group we have here, the sort of, Dell and Michael Dell and Bill Gates and et cetera, sort of building computers in their garage. That sort of thing was all going on in the 80s and 90s as well. So.
Okay. I guess I didn't see as much of it in something like STEAM that we're at here or hackerspaces that you could just walk in and join.
It was probably more underground than it is now. So the big difference now is that it's sort of out in the open and people will see it, and it's sort of the growth that any subculture goes through. They go from being a subculture to being part of the mainstream culture.
So if anybody wants to join in and become part of this subculture that's becoming mainstream, how would they become part of ATX Hackerspace?
Well, you can come on down to ATX Hackerspace. We have open houses on Tuesdays. Everyone's free to, come on in and check out what we've got and take the tour and join. We offer monthly memberships at $60 a month right now.
That's a good rate for Hackerspace.
It's one of the cheapest hackerspaces in the States.
Yeah.
And that gives you 24/7 access to all of our tools and equipment and all that stuff. We also have our website, atxhs.org. That has a lot of information on how you can join, what kind of stuff you can do with us, and also our mailing list, which is a great resource for members and non-members alike to sort of collaborate on ideas and get ideas for what they want to do, and if they have a project they want to bring to the space,
So if you're taking a look at this arcade cabinet here and thinking, that looks way too intimidating, there's no way I could do that, spend $60 a month to learn how. You're going to have to just buy your own tools, not your own tools, but your own equipment, your own actual supplies, like you'll need to buy the wood. And you could have one of these in just a couple of months, a lot easier than you think you could.